So, John, what are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about AchedAway. We were given this muscle scraping tool called AchedAway, and it has a heating feature. So we're going to cover what it is. It's a new instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization tool, muscle scraper. So it's a new muscle scraper, and we're going to unbox it and get after what it does, because it is heated, which we've never used before, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. As someone who personally self-treats regularly, I'm really excited to try this. So I wanted to make sure I got in on this.
Yeah, and this
I'll be demoing it myself.
Yeah, this will be first impression. So you're going to get a really raw take from us. Then we're going to use it a bit more throughout our time here at Mobility Doc, and then we'll maybe give a follow-up on some more thoughts. But let's get to it.
All right, so John is here for some technical support as I unbox this. This is standard for us.
I promise it's not actually that hard. It's just that Chloe has difficulty with this.
I know, but the thing though is that like if I can figure this out, you can too,
Yeah,
right?
keep
So,
moving.
all right, so here we are. Here's some instructions I'm not going to read.
No, well, let's do it the right way. Chloe doesn't actually watch these types of videos. So inside this box, we've got our instruction manual from them, a user manual for the heated muscle scraper. And then just this nice, pretty packaging. And then inside of here, we have the tool.
Oh.
Hand you this.
Oh, and it's pretty lightweight. So sometimes that's what people ask about is like, how heavy is it? It's definitely pretty lightweight. That's nice.
And then we have a charger. It's coming with a older USB style charger, kind of like iPhone style, where the assumption is you already have something to plug
Those
the
little
USB
white
into.
cubes.
But it's a newer USB-C port, so I believe you'll be able to plug any of your devices for the most part using these same charging ports now. You'll be able to plug the same thing, and as Chloe found, you just plug it right into the back, just like so. And then look at this, you even get like a nice little smooth AchedAway carry case. Nice kind of felt cloth.
Let me see.
How does it fit? All right.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Now take it out.
Okay.
All right.
Let's use it.
So Chloe's going to get into first how she feels about it when she's treating her.
Yeah, so first thing, the thing that I'll always look at is kind of like what this beveled edge is like. So it means that it's like nice and smooth, that it's at an angle. So that's something that I'm always kind of looking at. The thing that's nice about this is that it's versatile. So whether you're on this side or on the other side, you're gonna have that nice smooth beveled edge. Like I said before, it's lightweight, which is nice. It even has like a little extra grip sort of feature, so then it's easier to hold on to. Yeah, and then convenient that on-off button is right here. So.
All right. So there are 3 settings on it. So go ahead. Once you turn that on, hold it on actually. There we go.
Oh, 40.
Yep. So there is, and hit it again.
45. 50.
And this is like a product that's made outside of the country, and so it has both US based units of measurement and then non-US measurements.
What does the 40, 45, and 50 mean?
I believe the 50 is referring to Celsius.
Oh, degrees Celsius.
Exactly. So it can get up to...
Oh, it's already starting to get warm. That's nice. I'm at 50.
Yeah. So 50 would be pretty warm. 50 we're at 100, in 45. I'll look into that for you. We'll give you that. But it's Celsius, so that's where we're getting.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess my initial impressions, as I'm kind of scraping, I can definitely feel that warmth right away. It heats up really quickly actually. And the thing is that it's not so lightweight that it feels too flimsy either. So that's what is nice. And it is, I can definitely actually, even though I'm moving, I can actually still feel the warmth as well. That's what I was actually kind of wondering was will the warmth actually matter? And actually on this area, kind of through my Achilles, that can be kind of tight. It's actually kind of nice that it warms it up as you go.
Well, if I could jump in.
Yeah.
It is 40 Celsius is 104 Fahrenheit, and then 45 Celsius is 113 Fahrenheit. and then 50 Celsius is 122 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So you have it at 122 degrees.
Oh yeah, actually now that I'm on like my actual like calf muscle, I can really feel that. That feels quite
talk
nice.
about what you're feeling with the, other than warmth, like the beveled edge, like that it makes a difference if you're more straight on, angled, because that edge, like if we have like old school Graston instruments here too, and this has a single bevel, which creates more of a point, whereas the sidekick tools that we use a lot have a double bevel. That has a double bevel edge.
Which is nice too if you kind of like, depending on how I'm kind of doing this like stroke kind of like this, so then it's like I get it on the way up because I'm at an angle here, and then I can just flip it and go down. And it is, it's like enough of a bevel that it actually feels like it's at a good angle.
Is the bevel too wide? Is it the right thickness? Is it like narrow enough?
Yeah, it feels really similar to the other one. So
Okay.
it feels like, yeah, that actually feels like that's.
If we could do like a little for the camera, you can see how. Like,
yeah, and like what I'm talking about is kind of this point here. Like it doesn't feel like it's too wide, but then you can see here, like this part is a little bit wider, obviously, than what that is. But where I'm really making contact is on that beveled part.
Yeah, it is really lightweight.
Yeah. The thing though too is that this tool, based on how this angle is, means you're going to get to the area in a little bit more of a deep way, versus some of these other tools, because it's beveled along this convex part, that means then that you have less pressure as you're going along here, versus here you can have more pressure. So this is definitely one of those ones where you're going to be able to access a little bit more pressure because of how this is angled, that this is convex versus concave.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say that I noticed that would be nice, and maybe some of the other tools that they might make have it, I like that would be a little harder to get into like your fingers or hands.
Yeah.
Whereas like these other tools have like the ability to use also the pointy part to get in, not just the concave or convex sides.
But it is still though small enough that like you could get into like that part of your plantar fascia, that it's not like it's too small though.
Mm-hmm. Do you notice that much of a difference if you lower or change the heat?
Oh yeah, let me see. Because I was at 50, I just kind of went for it. I'll let it kind of come down a little bit.
Does it give you the same feedback as the other instruments in terms of like, can you feel the gravelly gritty, or does it get lost in the plastic?
It gets lost a little bit, but I can still feel it. But some of it is because I also know what it should feel like, I think. So like it does get a little lost, versus like if I'm using that sidekick tool, I can feel that vibration more. And it's also just, the sidekick tool is just heavier than what this is. But the thing though that's really nice is that I'm not even using any type of emollient, where almost always I do with this, with the sidekick or the Graston tools, just because it has like more force too. Whereas the thing that's nice is that this is heated, and it's also just not quite as, it's not quite as heavy. So then I actually don't really feel like I'm ripping my skin or anything now.
So you still feel that like you're able to get a similar amount of, because you can see like the redness appearing. So you can tell that Chloe is doing a good job of like breaking up adhesions, increasing blood flow and circulation.
I do actually notice the difference between 40 to 50. I haven't tried 45 yet.
45.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah. So you're just turning the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Because like
the other thing too is that it changes temperature pretty quickly. Like when I just went from 40 to 45, I actually felt the difference pretty quickly. So like I might do something like a minute at 40 seconds, and then kind of scan through that whole area, and then I'll do like another minute at 45, and then go up then to 50.
Obviously, like the heat is without a doubt, you feel the heat.
Yeah.
The other is like you feel like there's a benefit maybe to having 3 different settings of heat based on preference, or.
I think so.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that this grip is actually really nice, because you see how I can like turn this up, and now I just approach this like the back of my Achilles in a slightly different way. as opposed to always needing to kind of hold it here. It's not as awkward to manage, because actually sometimes like this one, that's actually one of my complaints sometimes about the Sidekick, is that depending on where you're kind of holding it, it can actually make it kind of more awkward to grip it.
Yeah, also
versus this has like a dedicated handle.
Right, because this is very flat, and then this actually has thickness to it.
Yeah.
So you're actually holding it versus like having to kind of like grip or squeeze it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think also, especially if like, say something like a massage gun, sometimes people will complain about them being too heavy. I mean, it's not an exact substitute, but the thing though is that you're going to avoid the complaint about it being too heavy. Do you think of these as being like, would you get one versus the other?
Good question. So, I mean, I personally still would probably clinically choose to use this.
Yes.
But I still need to give that a chance. And the reason why I say clinically is because we need a little bit more weight when we're going with patients. And then the other thing being, we need, I prefer to have more usable sides for more like nooks and different parts, different contours. And I like the weight. I do feel like this is like a little light, but I also haven't given it a fair chance of like using it enough. I'm really intrigued by the use of heat. I think like that could be an interesting benefit, because if you can increase circulation and blood flow while you're performing the muscle scraping, I could see there being a path for like breaking up adhesions a little bit more. Maybe like we can get more from it using this.
I was also thinking too that it could also just be more tolerable for the person, right? That it's like, okay, if this area kind of warms up a little bit more quickly, then I think that could be helpful. The thing for me that I'm thinking about is like, because I'm approaching this from my own self-treatment, I actually really like the idea of like, this is so portable too. And like I said, I wasn't even using any type of like emollient or lotion or anything like that. So I could see myself that it's like, oh, we're traveling or something like that. I could definitely see myself taking that, especially because I already have one of those chargers too.
Yeah, and this is maybe like a super like lightweight, almost metal sort of plastic, which is definitely adding to that. And it's true what Chloe said was, if I were to be self-treating, I think this would be preferable because of it being portable, easier to hold for like is the big part of that. The fact that it's lightweight is really helpful when you're self-treating, because a heavier instrument can get like clumsy, like you had said, and feel heavy. But the biggest differences then would be, this is largely plastic, which makes it really light. And then this is a little less solid than the traditional steel that's used for like the Grasson instruments or for the Sidekick and other instruments like Sidekick.
Yeah, you have one option in terms of the...
Yeah, you've only got the rounded side.
Yeah.
You don't have the other end or the pointy sides that you can use. But for the most part, that's really never going to be an issue, because you truly can make it work. The other being...
Oh, how long does the battery last?
Well, that we're just using it for the first time.
Yeah.
So like we have to use it more to see how long the battery lasts. We're going to use it with our patients and keep giving more feedback. We're going to like also link them into all the socials that we're putting this into, so that way AchedAway can get the proper credit. I do think like people will be quite happy with this.
I think so.
Yeah, and I know that they have other instruments too that we just haven't had a chance to test yet.
That'd be cool.
That are for like muscle scraping still. But I think this is a pretty enticing and interesting use for muscle scraping plus heat.
Yeah.
And I could see people on individual levels getting a lot of good use out of this.
Yeah. I think that what would also be helpful too is, because it's pretty lightweight, that you could use it, say, on your neck, and it wouldn't feel so heavy to hold as well, because you're kind of in like an awkward kind of position. And then that's where like that smaller head can actually be like really helpful. And heat so often feels so good at that in that neck area. I intentionally did my calf just because it's a bigger muscle. So then I was kind of seeing, okay, well, what can something kind of pretty small do to a larger muscle? So then I can easily see a use case then for the forearm, for the arm, so into that deltoid, even through the neck.
The entire body.
The entire
Chloe's just going
body.
to start listing her entire anatomy now.
Yeah. I'm thinking of my possibilities.
Yeah. This is going to get a lot of use from someone for sure.
Yeah. So I'm constantly doing self-treatment, and I can tell you. So I use the Hypervolt. I use the Normatec. I use
she
the
uses a lot
tool.
of things.
I use a lot of things.
All day if you start listing.
I foam roll rate all of the stuff.
Just say the thing.
But the thing though that I'll say to my patients is the thing that I use most and that I find to be most effective for myself is I use the Sidekick tool every day. So that's why I'm really excited about this, because like here's another way that it's like I can do some muscle scraping, but then have that added benefit of having some of the heat.
And I'm going to have to fight to get use of it, but
he's not going to use it. He never does.
If you
I use the Sidekick tool every day.
This is our first time reviewing a product that a company, AchedAway in particular, sent to us. We didn't have to purchase this.
Just super cool.
There were no ties or any kind of like agreements. They just gave it to us so we could use it, which is really generous. But full disclosure, like I said, we didn't buy it. And I want to be able to do more reviews like that. So if you like this idea in this format, let us know. If you have more questions about this particular instrument, feel free to comment below and let us know. And we appreciate you paying attention. And if you don't mind sharing us with your friends, helping by subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, get involved. Our community has been really growing. It's been really nice. Help us help more people. It's been a lot of fun doing that.
Bye, guys.
Bye.